too careful and twirl it around.
Oh, okay. Yes. Hello. My preening is happening in front of the camera live as I've just come onto camera and gone, holy crap, my hair looks so different. So welcome to This is Private Practice, where we get self-conscious about our appearance when we do things like Facebook Live. Well, that is actually really interesting, given that this afternoon I wanted to check in with our self-talk. Hello, gorgeous sister Adele Latu. Oh, this is actually going to be quite pertinent for a few people watching today. I'd always planned to have it this week that we would be checking in today, Wednesday, on our self-talk. And I find it intriguing that I've had conversations today. I've read posts on social media on various platforms. I've had some clients reach out to me today, and I can tell that some of us need a bit of a check-in with our self-talk. Oh, Kate Piper, you're here too. Excellent. So it's amazing how many thoughts we have in a day. And I know that Amy Parks will get on here sometime after she's woken up, because she's on the other side of the planet, quite literally. And she will tell us how many thoughts we have. And how many of those thoughts are negative, self-berating, beating ourselves up, basically punishing ourselves. So I would be intrigued if we could ever measure how many thoughts we were having if we just developed a good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought. Thank you, Kate. I am really loving my hair as well. And it's so soft. It is just so soft. So my hairdresser impressed herself today. She was very excited by how my hair had turned out. So we've got all the purple back as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with the women coming to the By Design event next week. So if I'm flicking my hair, I'm sorry about that, but it's just so lovely. Okay, self-talk. So I'd be really intrigued if we could count the number of good thoughts and not so good thoughts, or good thoughts and just plain cruel thoughts that we have in a day. Because it's very easy. I know when I wake up in the morning, this morning I woke up and I was in pain. And that's unfortunate, it happens. But it was like that was going to set the tone of my entire day. Because if I'm in pain, it means things are hard. And I'm on my own this week. So then I was lamenting that I was on my own. I didn't have any help. And then I was lamenting that I had to actually get up and make my own bed. And I had to get up and make my own breakfast. And it was just this me thing that was starting to go on. Not helpful. And then I go to social media and I have a quick look through, and it's easy for me to go, oh, that person's doing that thing. And how come I didn't get invited to that thing over there? And how come I'm not getting all of this praise and adulation? And why am I not good enough? Why don't I belong there? Why am I not being included? So I'm pretty sure that there were conversations being had with my husband in the meantime and my sister in the meantime that would have been buoyant and uplifting and wanting to, engage with me and show me that I do matter, that I do belong, that I am worth it. But it is so much easier for us to repeat the negative and repeat the negative and repeat the negative. And given that Tony Zanato is on this call today, he will understand this analogy really, really well. We have this amazing thing in our brain. Our brain, it takes a heck of a lot of energy to learn something new. If you try and think about the last time you learned something new, or the last time, remember how hard it was to learn how to tie your shoelaces? Remember shoelaces? Or try and teach a child. It took so much repetition. So much practice, so much repetition, so much practice. I remember how my son would get so incredibly frustrated. So he had to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice until now we don't even think about how to tie a shoelace. In fact, most of us adults get annoyed at our children when they don't do it fast enough or they tie it into a knot. We have to undo the knot. So you may also be aware that when water is cascading down a rock face, if it cascades down this rock face for long enough, it will carve out a groove. So it's got a direction and a place that all the water can go, and it actually allows more water to go into that space. I haven't got any other imagery to use here. The same types of things are going on in our brain. So if you have a thought, and then you repeat that thought, and you repeat that thought, and you repeat that thought, and you repeat that thought, then our brain is actually interpreting it as a habit. So it actually makes it easier for us to go to that negative thought. So if you keep saying to yourself, or if you are consistently throughout a day going, that was dumb, it was a stupid thing to do, you're an idiot, you're fat, you're ugly, you don't belong, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. You're actually making it easier for your brain to believe that. Now, coupled with the thought thing, however, it's not just enough that we've got thoughts happening. Thoughts don't happen in isolation. Wish they did, but they don't. Usually with a thought, there is an emotion. And usually with an emotion, there is a reaction. Yes, if this sounds like cognitive behavior therapy, it's because it is, but that's okay. All the therapists out there are like, oh, I get it now. So if you have a thought and you've had an association with that thought that's negative, then you'll have negative emotions about it. So I can assure you that I am very, very good at going to a place of shame. I am so good at remembering something that I've done that is shameful. And there's feelings that come over me when I am ashamed. I feel sick in the stomach. I feel hot in my chest. I want to hide. I am terribly embarrassed. I want to go small. So I have this experience where it's horrible. So I don't want to think or feel that. But it's so easy now for my brain to go to this place of thinking about what it was that was shameful. And for me, shame ends up feeling like this is the worst thing that could happen. I wish I would die. So if I do something that I send an email out with errors in it, I don't feel like I'm going to die now. But if I get the point wrong or a brief wrong from a potential referral source and I send them something and they go, Jo, you got it wrong, we need to talk about it, then the first reaction is, oh, I want to die. I am not good enough. This is awful. But that's just learning. And if we're going to be serious about this entrepreneurial journey, we have to understand that we've got to learn. So we have to go back to what it was like when we were tying our shoelaces. And this is where I see so many people giving up on things like launching a new product or understanding what a launch is or trying to take a face-to-face therapeutic service and turning it into an online business, is they give up the first time or because it didn't go as well as they thought it would. You've actually got to create some habitual patterns here. You can get good at your therapy stuff in 5 minutes. You can get good at it in 12 months. It took you years to even become credentialed or licensed or accredited. What makes you think that you can do the next step in like 20 seconds or once? So yes, Michelle, my hair is really long, and up until today it was really curly, and now it's not. I'll be, if I turn up and my hair's not like this tomorrow, you'll still love me, right, people? So what I want you to get used to is apprehending these not so great thoughts when they come to you. Recognize them for what they are. Recognize that there's going to be an emotional response to them as well. And recognize that you don't have to be a victim to these thoughts. You can actually go, hello, negative thought. Thanks for coming to visit me. Let's put you over there in a box and do the thing that we need to do. Go out and face down that fear. Be brave enough, courageous enough, vulnerable enough to go, I can actually put myself out there. So we know that there's a lot of people talking about this at the moment, but I want to give a shout out to the people in my 5 Favorite People program, because we've just hit week 4 and we've got some amazing new pathways being built in brains. We have got people facing down fears. We've got people making contact. We've got people talking about their knot in their stomach, their vomit response. But you know what? They're getting support. They're learning language. They're learning that this is going to be okay. Right now, it's Jo says it's going to be okay. I can assure you it's going to be okay. So I'm really incredibly proud of these ladies. They're from all over the world. They're jumping in and supporting each other, and we're getting stuff done. We are going to see some amazing practices built and flourish out of this program. So stay tuned. They're going to be pretty darn amazing. Okie dokie, taking every thought captive. Yes, Adele, and look at that. Look at the 2 of you get on there as well. Fabulous people. I am going to go. I am going to record some more training for my 5 Favorite People this afternoon, but I'm looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow. But until then, you are awesome. So go be your awesome self.